Welcome to Updata Analytics version 10, and this is a demonstration of the LITE edition, the entry-level edition to Updata Analytics. And it's version 10 launched in 2019 early on, and we've had a lot of existing Updata users on the beta version for several months last year. So it's really powerful and slick, and I just wanted to show you using version 10. And the key difference with the Lite edition is you can find this on the updated page under compare updated versions. But the key differences are basically that Updata version 10 runs on mostly end-of-day services, so things like Yahoo, which we'll have a look at, the bigger platforms like obviously the professional platforms and some of the real-time data services like Metastock Zenith. You need the home edition to run on that, so that's one of the key differences. The second thing is scanning and alerting are not in the Lite edition, and the trading strategies and system testing is not also in the Lite version. But for most people, what Lite offers is enough. And so here I'm running on Yahoo Finance data, and I've got my system set up to poll Yahoo Finance every 1 minute to get the website. And if you watch charts today, you'll recognize this desktop, and I'll show you how to get these same layouts as I've got so that you can actually copy me in doing your own analysis. And the key thing with version 10 over version 9 is just the massive increase in speed. And here we see the real-time prices being pulled in from Yahoo. Means my charts are all up to date. Typically it's delayed data for Asia and Europe and real-time data for the US, so pretty powerful. But let's start how you will see your screen. So when you start up Updata, you'll have this desktop. And if you want to draw a chart, you can just see here that we've got these ribbons. So these are all very much offer standard ribbons. So desktops and layouts, charts. So if I want to draw a new chart, I can just go straight there and I can type in a code, and straight away it goes and does a search on Yahoo and finds the chart. And you can see how quick these charts are when you're using Updata. It's really, really powerful. And repeat requests become faster because it caches the data locally, so it makes it really, really fast. So here we see a chart of Vodafone, for example. And of course, I can change the chart types just along this toolbar here. Point and figure I'll talk about because that's an area of real strength for Updata. And you can just see here you can change the chart types as and when you want to. There's lots of different ways of doing things in Updata, and you'll find you can either use these toolbars that are pre-supplied. If you want to use all the tools, then they're also available on these chart bars. So things like Indexia indicators, the market tracker, for example, that's a really powerful proprietary indicator that a lot of people use. And if you want to understand these, I'll show you how to do that as well. So really, really cool. Also, Updata is keystroke driven, and in this case, the C key will help you to just clear all the analysis, and I'll explain keystrokes as well. So all of these chart indicators tend to be charts themselves on the chart. So if you want to draw a MACD, that's how you would do it. If you wanted to put on other tools, so you can do things like you can add historic correlation, volatility, all sorts of things that are available to you. The key difference between a chart and a tool, and it's really highlighted by these two menus as well, is a chart gets drawn as a chart on the chart, whereas a tool basically gets drawn on the chart itself. So if I want to draw a moving average, which is the M key, I can put a moving average on, and all I have to do is just type the keys, and it's really, really quick. You can change all of these around just by pressing these arrows, and you can take charts off. Really very, very straightforward indeed. So it's really, really intuitive to use that. This slider allows you to zoom in and out on the chart, and if I want to go back and draw that as a candlestick chart, sliders there move zoom in and out. There's one on this bar as well, which allows you to slide up and down. If you want to relock it, just double click on it and it will put it back. And then on the zoom side, you can use this slider, but then of course there's all these zoom functions as well. So you can zoom right in on the end of the chart if you want, or you can zoom right out, and then you can actually go all the way back, and you see these histories run right the way back to the early 1990s. So again, a really, really powerful aspect of using the system. You can even zoom in a given period, so you can choose which period you want to zoom in, and it will show you that as well. Personally, it's set up where the charts look nicest, and this is roughly around 2 years. So that just shows you how to navigate through this menu, and there's a lot of tools available to you. What I suggest is you play around with these, and you can see if I do something like an RSI. Also, you can actually say, I don't want to know that next time I put an RSI on it will just then just draw the RSI with those periods. So that's another quick way of doing things. You can change most of these periods just by clicking on them, and then you can literally change the RSI period in real time. You can do the same with the moving averages, so you could actually just go down and you'll see these all changing in real time. So again, that's a really powerful aspect. Remember that C just clears everything. The tools are more things that you want to put on a chart. So these will be things like a trend line, and again, these are available in the toolbar, so you can just go and grab these. You can save these trends. You can even do auto trends, where it will put on the trend lines that it can find for itself. The software is clever enough to do that. And then if you want to do things like Fibonacci retracements, these are all available to you as well, so you can just go and place those on a chart. So have a play with these tools. There is lots of them, and things like a flip chart, which turns the chart upside down. That's there, but you can also find it in the tools menu here, and you'll find it in the tools menu up here as well. So really good. If you want to change your charts to weekly charts, this is really powerful, especially if you're looking at things like Ichimoku charts. So you can go daily, weekly, and you can see the change really quickly. And so I will show you again ways to get the power out of that as well. Remember that you can right hand click for various options on a chart, so you can actually go and change the properties. So here you see all the different chart types. If you wanted to, we saw that RSI where we took that input dialog off. You can literally go back to the RSI and you can put that back on. So you can say, show me that input dialog, and apply it. So next time I go and ask for it, I get my settings back. Here are all the keystrokes, and so I can see here that A is the adaptive average, and there's a whole series of keystrokes. So it's worth having a look through those, and of course you can configure the system to do whatever you want to do as well. So for example, I could just go back and say, okay, I saw that adaptive average, so I press the wrong key there. If I press A, it will then put the adaptive average on for me. So again, really quick and powerful way to move around the software once you get to know the keystrokes. So that is also really cool. You can just drag a chart anywhere around on the system you want. So again, and if you want to then center it back, you just double click there, and you're back to where you were. So that's the charts menu. Quote screens is pretty straightforward as well. You can go and grab quotes, watch lists of quotes from our libraries. So in order to get some watch lists that are pre-created, you go to our watch list library in the quotes menu, and here you'll find a whole series of watch lists. So the Australian market, the French market, for example, the Dow 30, and you can download these watch lists. Now I've already obviously got these, but it does mean that you can effectively copy me with charts today. So here we see the Dow Jones Index, and the market's due to open shortly, so we'll start to see these updates coming in, which will be quite useful. You can then, of course, set this as a tracker chart, and you can go down and you can see how quickly these histories change. So really powerful. There we see the updates, the latest prices. So really, really valuable thing to do in terms of getting watch lists. And of course, the other thing is, once you've got those watch lists, you can open up different types of watch lists. So for example, you could go for the FTSE 100, and these are the performances. This is a market map, and what's nice here is you can see where you are in relation to the candle. So we can see these leaders are at the top of their candle for the day at the moment, and this little yellow tab is telling us these laggards are near the bottom of their range for the day. So that's again something that's quite nice that you can do on that Yahoo data. So really powerful. But really one of the best things to do is to go and get layouts. So this one here is a layout that I've already got, but again, if you go to our layouts library, you can actually see here that you can actually go and get a whole series of different layouts. And for Yahoo, there's 20 different layouts, different countries, Australia, France, so you can do it country by country, or you can just copy me and what I use in charts today. So I use a European layout, and I also use an Asia Pacific layout, and it remembers that list. So now it's loading all of the constituent lists for that layout, and this way you can effectively follow me in charts today with all these different lists. So here I'm running lists for lots of different countries. So this is loading the Indian market, for example. We see the Chinese market, the Australian market, the Nasdaq, the Dow. I've got all these lists available to me, and then these are nicely set up as categories as the world indices list. These are all available in the Updata library. And then what's really cool is you're now able to follow me with charts today. So this is a weekly, a 1% point and figure, a daily, a 0.5% point and figure, daily chart. And because I want as much screen space as possible, I normally just collapse this desktop down to give me more space to see my charts. So I tend to utilize, if I want the menus, I'll just click on them, but generally speaking, I've got everything I need and I can just use the toolbars. So this way you can actually just quickly go through the market, and you can then rank by percentage performance. So that's really, really powerful. So if I wanted to, for example, see in Europe, if I wanted to look at the FTSE 100, which stocks are up the most, then I can see that it's NMC Health is the best performer today. Just click on this column, and then I can see Persimmon is the worst performer. And I can go and do that in the 250 or even the Euro stock. So you can actually download the whole layout and effectively copy me. So out of the box, for a few pounds a month, you can effectively be doing all your analysis, and you see these latest prices coming in, meaning my charts are all up to date. Last of all, the last thing on version 10 that's really quite cool is the ability to change chart colors. So there's a whole series of different backgrounds available to you, but you can see straight away you can make your system look just how you want, just by clicking up on here, touch of a button. And sometimes you just want to work in a different mode, so it's really nice. I'm loving this feature, and again, that's just a really powerful aspect. And the same with quote screens. You can then go and load the quote screens you want. So if you want, you can get blue quotes. So I can actually copy this same layout and get the same look and feel in my list. So that's again something that's really nice. And you can even then change the look and feel of your whole program so that it's now that look and feel. You can go from black to all sorts of different colors, and so you can just see straight away out of the box you can make Updata look and shine just how you want. So why not download a copy, follow me each day with charts today, have a go at following me in this video, getting a quick look at how things work, and keep an eye out for lessons all the time. But if you've used Updata before or you're new to it, this is the perfect time. Version 10 is a really big step forward, so we look forward to welcoming you aboard.